How much do you want to achieve your goals? How much do you actually want to accomplish the thing you set out to accomplish? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice the simple things, the basics, then clearly you don't want it bad enough. When I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, one of the key things I took away from that was desire. The burning desire to want something. And that desire should be powerful enough to make you do something, especially when you don't want to. I think that's when it counts the most. I think a lot of us like to think we want something, but really we don't have a deep desire to actually really want it. Some of us don't want it enough to get up earlier in the morning. Some of us don't want it badly enough to go that extra mile just for that little bit of detail. And some of us don't want to sacrifice the things that we know are bad for us. Because even though you want to be this super successful entrepreneur, you also kind of want to smoke weed. I'm not saying there can't be a balance, but if you can't sacrifice that for a short moment, then clearly you desire smoking more than you want your business to succeed. But I feel like desire is also something that has to be built up to. Just like everything else, I feel like it's something that you need to keep trying and getting better at. But the reason it's something you want to keep building up and you want to keep getting better at is for that reason, that desire. The reason I keep trying to get up earlier in the morning is because I'm trying to get up and get more work done so I can get ahead of the game. Do I do it all the time? Absolutely not. But I keep trying anyways because the desire is there. I really do think what separates the amateurs from the pros is that desire. That desire is the filter that, stops most people from trying. Once they reach that breaking point, it's the desire that pushes you forward. But for some, they kind of start to realize that, it's too hard. Maybe they don't want it as badly as they thought they did. Learn to say no and learn to reject things if it doesn't help you in your pursuit. Learn to say no to your friends or your family if it doesn't help you in achieving your goals. You don't have to agree with everything or go with everything, and it might make you feel a little selfish, but that's the sacrifice you have to be willing to make in order to succeed. But like I always say, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is just what I've been doing that's been kind of working for me. But a lot of the times I feel like maybe I'm being a dickhead because I act this way. However, my desire far outweighs my feeling of remorse because I am going to get this thing done. And the more sacrifices you make, the more it starts building up towards your desire. It's like gaining XP in a video game, But those sacrifices you make, every once in a while you can sit down and remember what it took to get to where you are. Those sacrifices weren't meant for nothing. Like taking an L, it carries a lesson in there with it. When you start saying no to people, I think people do start looking at you in a weird way. They start taking it personally, like you're rejecting them. But really, you're not rejecting them. You're just saying yes to your desires, to your goals. But those no's that you hand out to people, they'll build up your own self-resilience and they build your character. If you can learn to say no to the simple things, there's a greater benefit to that in the future. All it is just delayed gratification, like building that muscle. At least that's what I want to believe anyways. That eventually one day it'll come back in a big way. But as of now, I'm going to continue saying no to the things that aren't going to benefit my goals. And even though I do feel selfish sometimes for saying that, I feel like that'll also filter out the real ones in my life. Who's actually there for me and who's not. But sometimes I'll think to myself, that too in itself is a dilemma because I can't just expect people to be there for me if I can't just even be there for them. But this goal that you're chasing after, how much is it worth to you? I think too often we feel the pressure to say yes to things because we think we need to do that, especially to fit in, especially when you don't want to, but you just feel like you need to because you want people to like you. I mean, it's hard to say when you're exactly in the moment, but just start saying no to things because you'll get better at rejecting things and you can get rid of the feeling that you need to fit in. Because ultimately, I think that's our own downfall, is the need to fit in. I mean, if you have a higher purpose that you want to achieve, then you can't settle for conformity. Learn to say no. Instead, do what you actually want to do. Do what you feel a burning desire for. Because the more you start listening to yourself and pursuing that burning desire within you, you'll start to uncover what you really want and how you're going to achieve your goal. But I believe that's what saying no is. Really, all I think it is drowning the noise around you outside of yourself and learning to seek what you truly want.